Never overcomplicate your growth again. Welcome to the Liberation Vortex. I am going to share with you today the framework, the methodology, the breakdown that I have developed for helping you liberate yourself, for helping you tap into that free, authentic, powerful, beautiful being that you are in the core of your heart and know how to shine this in the world in a way that is truly authentic to you so that you can bring your gifts to the world without struggling, without hustling, without grinding. This is the framework that I like to call the liberation codes, okay? And it is really simple, really powerful, and it's designed to help you know exactly what it is that you need to do to free yourself, to heal, and to awaken your power and your gifts, and to have a really simple formula that you can follow that gets rid of all the outside voices and helps you simplify the process, because it's so easy to overcomplicate this. And there's so many voices giving you all these things that you need to do that it can be easy to get lost. So I want to give you something that's going to help you know exactly what to do. So this is going to serve you no matter what. It's especially going to give you a good insight as to what's available to you inside this space if you come and work with me, be that through buying one of my courses or signing up to come and work with me inside the Liberated Man Vortex in a one-to-one program or as part of the group work. But it's irrelevant. I mean, it's not irrelevant, but it's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to bring you into this framework with this methodology, because it's really powerful. It's kind of come through to me, especially over the last sort of 6 months to a year or so. And it's really been the work of all the work that I've done in my time as a guide, facilitator, coach, healer. And I'm really excited to share it with you. So let's jump into it. I want to show you something. I'm gonna have to turn off my blur for a moment for this. So this little shape here, this shape, I can't remember what it's called. There is a name for this in sacred geometry, because you've got the Vesica Pisces, which is the two circles together. And the third one, I can't quite remember what it's called, but it's a very powerful and potent shape. The number 3 symbolizes in sacred geometry completion, right? So you've got 1, which is kind of the initial number, 2, which creates the pairing, and then 3 is creates the whole. That's why you have everywhere there's triangles, or there's the number of the 3, mind, body, soul. I think that's the right thing. Mind, body, soul, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, right? So all over scriptures and esoteric texts, this idea of the 3 is everywhere. And this little shape here, what you'll see is right in the middle there's a green gem. And this card actually came to me from one of my teachers. He created this. He's kind of been initiating me into the mystery teachings. And, it was only recently that I was looking at this card and I realized that what was coming through me in terms of kind of to piece together the work that I do into a framework that is easy to understand and to replicate for you. I saw this shape and then I saw that gem and I was like, wow, like this is it. Because that's you. That's the liberated man right there. That is the liberation vortex. That is the true, authentic, free, loving nature of your soul that has all the gifts, the unique expression, the unique blueprint, the unique everything that you're here to bring to this world that's never been seen before, because it's you. You have a unique signature that you're here to bring to this world. That's that. And that's what the Liberation Vortex, the Liberation Codes, and the Liberated Man is all about helping you step into. So we use this shape of the 3. I really probably could have done with finding out the name of this, because I've done a couple of these now and I've been like, oh, I don't know what the name is, but it's fine. You vibe with me, right? We don't need to be perfectly put together. You get the point. Within each of these rings, it signifies a different energy. The top ring is the inner child, that divine creative expression, that innocence within you, your heart space, just that part of you that came here to play, to be free, to express itself, right? That's kind of your core essence. But in order to create and tap into your liberated self, your true potential, we obviously have elements that build on this, right? We don't just come here to just be the child that we came into the world as. We want to keep that unique signature and we want to bring that out into the world. But we also learn things, we also develop, we also become adult human beings. And this is where the other 2 rings come in. This is the masculine and the feminine, the mother and the father. So you'll notice that they all link together, they all intertwine, they all have pieces where they work together, and they come together to create the whole, which is this sweet spot in the middle. So that's the way that we work in this space. That's the way that I want to invite you to work, is to think about By balancing my masculine and my feminine, by balancing my mother energy and my father energy, it creates a space of safety and support for my innocence, my inner child, for that creative spark within me to shine in the way that it wants to shine, to come and express itself in the world, right? So you are effectively becoming this holistic parent, this all-encompassing, divine being that can tap into all the different types of energies. That's why originally I used to call this the holistic man, because it was that idea that, hey, we're connected to everything and we can call on all these different archetypes and energies when we need them, and we want to cultivate these things. But I realized it was all leading towards this idea of liberation. So that's why we went for the liberated man, the Liberation Vortex. So when you're coming into this journey, the first and most important thing is your child, is your innocence. Because you don't feel free right now because your inner child, your innocence, your heart, and I use those words interchangeably, doesn't feel safe to freely express itself, to freely shine. You've picked up so many wounds and traumas and conditions that have shut down your light, that have caused you to hold on to tension, that have caused you to limit yourself, that have caused you to repeat old patterns and addictions and play at a really small level to live a limited life of suffering where the best you can hope for is, the chasing of pleasure or the avoidance of pain. That's where most people get stuck in. At the next kind of level of consciousness up, we start to realize, okay, I can do something to create my reality. And we get into this kind of what we call the level 2, the masculine energy, and you become the doer. Right? And you start trying to do all these things. You start trying to heal and grow and make things happen with this purely masculine energy. I will, I can, and I do, right? It's that doing kind of part of you. But you're still missing something there because it's disconnected from the fact that you're a limitless spiritual being, that you are connected to all that is, that you also have other energies within you, which is where we reach the next level, which is the feminine. Which is life is happening through me. It's the surrender, it's the letting go, it's the realization that you don't need to do things all the time. You don't need to force an effort, that there is an unseen force, a mystical, magical reality and laws to this universe that kind of makes things happen outside of our control, but that we have an influence of that. This is the law of attraction. This is surrender. This is, magnetizing miracles into our life through our energetic signature. So, you probably will find yourself at various times in these different dynamics, in the masculine, in the feminine, for example, in the go or in the surrender. The fourth tier of consciousness, and I'm using Michael Beckwith's tiering system here. Remember, nothing is exact. It's not like an exact science, but this is a useful, again, framework to help you kind of conceptualize and tap into how this works. The fourth level is when we start to bring everything together into unity. This is oneness. This is the realization that I am, where duality, light, dark, good, bad, masculine, feminine, starts to disappear, or the boundaries between these things disappear, and we realize the oneness of reality. We realize that everything is the same one source, the source of you, love, I am, God, whatever you want to call it, just condensing, twisting, contorting itself into different frequencies, into different vibrations, which gives the appearance of this duality, of this contrast that we're here to live. Now, you probably know all of that. What I want to put this into is something that you can use to bring, again, this your highest potential, your liberated essence to the surface, so that you can step forth as the person that you came here to be. And as I said, it starts with that child. It starts with realizing that the creative spark, that divine creative spark within you, that childlike innocence that's here to express and to play, needs to feel safe in order to do that. And it doesn't right now. It doesn't because your nervous system is overstimulated. So the code that goes with this child part is you are already free, right? So we're here to tap into liberation, but the code of the child is you're already free, because the child is free. The child doesn't come here, with traumas, and apart from kind of what they've picked up while in the womb, but mostly it doesn't come here with traumas and like all these personality problems and defects. The child is free. So the code is to realize you're already free. You just don't feel it right now. You don't feel it because your body doesn't feel it, because you've learned all these stories and you picked up all these things that have taught you you're not safe, that have taught you that you have to twist yourself and contort yourself to be someone else's idea of a good human being, a good little boy. Learning and kind of remembering and claiming, I am already free, is the code that will take you into this, because when you remember that, you can start to look at, where am I not free? Like, where do I not feel free? Where do I feel limited? Where do I feel constrained? And what you'll notice is it all comes back to safety. You don't feel safe in your body. And so even if you can conceptually know that you're free, you don't feel it and you don't live as it, because your body isn't letting you, because again, of all the traumas, all the stories, all the memories, and etc., that have caused you to close up and protect yourself, as if you're not free, as if you're separate from what you want and separate from life itself. So within this first code, the child and the realization that you're already free, what we focus on, and when I work with people, what we focus on is first reconnecting with your child, reconnecting with that innocence within, reconnecting with that heart space to help it realize that, oh, the time of struggle and survival is done. You know, we don't have to push aside what we want to do anymore in order to do all these things to keep up with life and keep up with what we thought we had to do to be okay, to be accepted. We're actually safe. You know, it's like, hey, come out to play, inner child. It's a gentle reconnecting with him to help him realize that it's okay. Yeah, we can relax, we can play, we can create for creativity's sake. We can do things for the sake of doing them, not as if everything has to have an outcome. So this is where we start to tap into like the creative expression, for instance. You know, what's like something that you used to do when you were younger that you stopped doing, maybe because you didn't feel like you were good at it, or something that you've always wanted to do but you've not done because you're worried about not being good at it when you start, right? So this is, as we realize you're already free, we start undoing the codes of you have to prove yourself worthy, you have to be good at things, and just give you permission to be creative, to be that child that's here to express and just be its authentic self. So that's that first part. Now, in order to do that, we have to create the space of safety. And this is where the mother and the father come in. So we can kind of look at this as a linear model, but in reality, all of it's happening at once at different times, right? And there's a deeper focus in the beginning on the child, for instance, and then we move into a deeper focus of the feminine and the masculine. But at the same time, it's all happening at once, because for that child to feel safe to creatively express itself without the need of an outcome, it will need an unconditionally loving father to come along and say, I accept you no matter what, and I don't need you to achieve anything or be good at something, right? And this is the healing to the dynamic most of us as men grew up with, which is, you know, our fathers meaning well, but it's just what they had as well, and the collective father of the patriarchy, of the system we grew up in, which told us you have to prove yourself. You have to prove yourself worthy. You have to be good at what you do. And this created all this shame, all this pressure, and all this like resistance towards just being free and just expressing ourselves. So we need to heal that by starting to be this unconditionally loving father, coming along and inviting this child to come and do the things it wants to do while reminding it that it's safe. You know, this is that really beautiful, conscious, masculine father energy that we begin to cultivate. But even before that, we need to tap into the mother, the unconditionally loving mother that says, I see you, little boy, and I love you no matter what. I accept you. I accept you. I see you and I accept you, you know? And this is the healing to the mother wounds that many of us carry, where we feel not seen by our mother, where we feel, you know, whatever it is. And it's by creating that space of just unconditional love, unconditional acceptance, really a beautiful, nurturing, mothering energy that just says, whatever you do, whatever mistakes you've made, like whatever, I accept you and you're safe. So as we start to tap into that, and obviously, you know, while you're working with me, we would work on some particular specific practices that resonate with you, you know, be that sort of tapping to release old stories and emotions, be it just connecting with your body and breathing and, you know, doing those things, or be it the masculine path of taking action, but still having this space of love to, you know, feel the shame and feel the guilt and the pressure when it comes up and release it. So it's how we would start to use this framework, but I'm not giving you loads of practices. I just want to give you an overview of how it works, so that if you're coming into my world and into my space, you can feel if this is something that resonates with you. So let me know so far. If you're with me, then hit that like button. Make sure you drop a comment below with what this is bringing up for you, like how you feel this works, and maybe some practices that you resonate with in the feminine, in the masculine, the mother, the father, the child? You know, what does it bring up for your life that you could do? I'd love to hear. So as we've done that first part, and when I actually work with people in my 3-month one-to-one liberation program, we do this linearly in a way. So we do the first month where it mostly focuses on this child essence, and we build that foundation of you're already free. Then we move into the feminine, right, which is the flow, which is the magnetization, which is starting to attract everything that you want and starting to realize this, you know, radiate this goddess energy and tap into the goddess, tap into the mother. Just because we're men and we're masculine core men doesn't mean we can't tap into this. And actually, part of being a modern, powerful warrior means knowing how to tap into your divine feminine energy. And the more you can cultivate this and give yourself permission to tap into it, the more what you're going to do is, when we get to the third key, the masculine, you're going to inspire your masculine to come out. You're going to inspire your mission to step forward. You're going to inspire your warrior to take you to places you've never been before. Where this place is different, where I do things differently to a lot of men's work, is I don't just jump straight into the warrior. I don't just jump straight into the masculine, even though that's what's really needed. That's what we're here to cultivate. We take steps to get there, and we start with creating the safety. We start with the realization you're already free. We start then coming into the feminine, into learning to attract and to magnetize and to manifest and connect with your intuition, to get into your body, to start to connect with your sexuality, your pleasure, you know, and to just invigorate your life essence, because that's what the feminine is. The feminine fuels us. The feminine invigorates us. It inspires us. And you can tap into that in your own body, but also in the mystical realms. You can start to connect with the divine mother, you know, in her various forms, and you know, feel and tap into these energies that you want to bring into your life, not just needing a relationship or a partner, but realizing that they're all around you, that they're within you. It's a really beautiful, powerful part of the process, this. The code for the feminine part is surrender to love. So this is when we start to surrender. We learn to let go. And we're already doing this because in the first part with the child, we've started to tap into these practices to create safety, to regulate our nervous system. So we've already started to tap into this, you know, feminine energy, this surrender, this letting go, but we're going to deep into it even more. We're going to become vessels that allow love to move through us, allow our bodies to move in a new way so that our hearts can lead instead of using our minds. Now, this is something that's really radical for a lot of men because we're so used to being up in our rational mind and our intellect, right? Learning to tap into this through surrendering, through getting into our body, feeling the energy flow, you know, letting it move through us. Again, doing various practices that I could share with you that would help with this. But most of all, connecting you with what resonates with you, because the way I do things here is not, this is the methodology, this is the framework, you have to do it bit by bit. We have these kind of, you know, this framework that's in place that gives us a loose structure so that we can flow, so that we can tap into like, what's going to resonate most for you? What does your heart want you to do? It's about tapping you in with your inner guidance, not the world according to Tobias, not once again, just another guru or whatever that you're here to copy. It's like you're your own guru. The message is inside you. And so as we move into the feminine, this is when you're going to really start to feel it. You're going to start to feel, oh, as I surrender to love, yeah, my heart begins to give me guidance. I start to have intuitive impulses on how to move, and I can start to trust that I'm guided. I can start to move now, instead of having to like strategize and plan everything out and try and control. It's when control starts to die away and surrender, intuition, you know, and love starts to lead. And it's a beautiful, beautiful shift, a beautiful transformation. But you won't be able to go into this unless we start with creating safety. So that's why safety is like the core piece, creating safety in your body to relax, to let go of tension, to let go of traumas. And then now that we've opened the feminine, we've started to surrender to love. Now you're going to start to feel inspiration come through. You're going to start to feel that fire within you, that realization that, wow, I'm a warrior king. I'm a warrior king. I've got the divine masculine energy within me that is ready to fight if I need to in order to protect and to serve this beautiful feminine energy that I've been tapping into to protect my queen, to protect my kingdom, to serve my kingdom, to bring it forth into a new age. That is what we're here to do. We're here to become kings in this lifetime, brother. Warrior kings, but holistic warrior kings that are also the magicians, are also the lovers, and are also the divine feminine as well. You are all of it. And this beautiful framework, this beautiful methodology that's coming through me is going to help you tap into that, so that now when we move into month 3, if you come into my one-to-one program, or just, move into this in your own way, now it's like, oh, I feel inspired. I feel inspired to go and create. I feel inspired to commit to something bigger than myself. I feel inspired to express all of this love that I've been now allowing in and receiving, which is another big part of the feminine codes, allowing and receiving. Now that I've been receiving all of this, I have an abundance to give. I have an abundance to create from, so that you're no longer creating from lack and using the burned out, what we call shadow masculine, who is relying on this go, 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 do it, make it happen energy to compensate for the lack and unworthiness that he feels within. We're instead coming from the foundation of abundance, coming from inspiration, coming from I'm enough. And so now it's like, let's go out and express this in the world. Let's go and share our gifts. Let's go and create a better world. Let's go and conquer the demons, that we have within, which you'll have needed throughout the whole process. So this is where we can see it all links, right? Because your masculine's been here the whole way. You need your masculine, you need that warrior part of you to commit to something like this, because this is a path of devotion. This is a devotion to truth. And even when we're talking about softening, surrendering, creating safety, it takes courage to choose that, brother. It takes courage to do these things. It takes courage to go into your fears and to feel through them, and to not reach for addictions and for fixes. Like, it takes a real warrior to have the courage to surrender. And so you've already been cultivating him, and now he's ready to come into his next level. Now you're ready to step into your mission, and you can start to tap into, like, what are the things that I really care about? What's the legacy that I'm here to leave? What are my values? And then we start to create a structure for your life that is in resonance with that is true to who you are, that is an expression of your heart space, that is the liberated man in action. So this is the whole idea, the premise of everything that we do here in this space. As you can see, it's a really sacred, really beautiful, really powerful, complete system. It is all about getting you out of the mind into the body, because the body is your vessel, the body is your temple, and it's the space where you can expand in your capacity to hold a space, right? Like, this is part of the masculine. And once you've started to fill up all your energy and you've become more embodied, you're a safer space, you're grounded, you're here, you're present. You can take up this felt awareness and feel through life to feel into what the moment is calling for from you, what your tribe, what your clients, what your women, what your family, what your world needs from you, what your kingdom needs from you as its king, to come and take action and to make happen. And this is the real potency of the liberated man, because you're not coming from pressure or shame or proving yourself anymore, these shadow elements of the masculine. You're coming from abundance, you're coming from wholeness, you're coming from inspiration. This is the liberated man, and this is the only framework that you need. You can fit everything within these 3 keys. Whether you come in and work with me or not, I would love for you to do that. And I'd love to invite you right now, even just to come and speak with me, to come and book in for your free liberation session. Depending on when you watch this video, I may not be offering it for free anymore, but at the time of recording it, I am. So come and do that, and come and tap into how you can make this work in your life, and take it further. Like, if you feel this in your bones, if you feel that you want to be a liberated man, that you want to bring your gifts to the world, all it takes is your choice to live that way. And then asking yourself, what is it that I need? Do I need guidance? Do I need support? Do I need brotherhood? Do I need to commit to myself in a bigger way than ever before? Most of the time, the answer is yes to all those things. And that's why I created this space. That's why I created my one-to-one liberated man coaching program and everything else. But maybe it's not that. Maybe it's completely not to do with me, and there's another person, another guide, or another way that calls to you. Trust that, my brother. Trust that, okay? What I would just say, though, is be very, very aware of the lone wolf mentality. It's very common for us as men to go, I'm going to go and figure this out myself. I'm just going to go and do this myself and see how far I can get with it. Because we've been we've been so conditioned to live that way and to just try and fix and sort it ourselves by cutting ourselves off from the support of others. This is a time of brotherhood. This is a time of coming together and co-creating in brotherhood. So make sure you get into spaces that can be that for you. If it's not this space, if it's not the Liberated Brotherhood, then find what it is. And if you do feel like it could be this space, then welcome, brother. I'd love to serve you. I'd love to welcome you into this beautiful brotherhood that's building here. Again, you can come and plug into work with me one-to-one. I do every so often, I'll be doing group Liberation Vortex programs, but that's usually by invite only. You have to kind of be in this space in order to be a part of that. But I do monthly open men's circles, what I call the open vortex as well. So all the details you'll find in the description below. If you want to kind of get involved, you'll find really clear steps. What I would say, the first step is booking a call with me. Sign up to my mailing list, and that's really all you need to do for right now. Most of all, take some moments to feel into how can I start applying this into my life, and comment below if you want to see some more videos and some ideas as to guidance I can share with you to begin implementing this straight away. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.